Brazil,
here we
France,
go.
and the UK. And this is really impressive. India
that
is
Russia
the
in the middle?
fastest
Yeah,
growing
that was
major
Russia.
economy in the world, and according to IMF, India is set to surpass Germany and Japan to become the world's third largest economy by 2027. India is already the third largest economy in the world in terms of PPP GDP with a huge GDP of $11.7 trillion.
Purchasing
and by
power
2030,
parity.
India's nominal GDP is expected to be $8.5 trillion, but
Trillion
India's
dollars.
potential is much more than this. After the USA, Russia and China, the Indian military is the fourth most powerful military in the
Yeah,
world.
we just
And
learned
with a
that.
budget of
The
$76.6
fourth
billion,
largest
India has third largest defense budget in the world. Over 1.45 million active personals, over 1.15 million reserve personals, and over 2.52 million paramilitary. The Indian military is the largest military in the world with a total 5.13 million
5.13
military
million.
personnel.
Everybody living in our
India is
country
also a
can minus
nuclear
5
armed
million.
country. The country
Everybody's
is
in the
holding
army.
some of the most powerful nuclear weapons in the world, such as
That's what we do in
intercontinental
Yeah.
ballistic
All of
missiles,
us.
Agni 5, Agni 6, K5 and K6, which has a massive range of 5,000 km to
crazy,
12,000
and that's in
km.
each direction,
Even some
right?
experts say
So,
that India hidden
yeah.
a dangerous weapon
That's
called
more than half
Agni
around
7
the
or
world.
Surya, which has a massive range of 12,000 km to 16,000 km. There are only 4 countries in the world that have anti-satellite weapons, and India is one of them. India has capability to destroy the communication system of any country in the world by destroying their satellite in the space. The Indian Space Research Organization
ISRO.
is among the world's top 5 most successful space agencies. ISRO has successfully launched over 386 foreign satellites for 36 different countries, including satellites of USA, Germany, France, and the UK, and successfully launched over 134 Indian origin satellites. There are many misconceptions about India have been born in the world, especially in the West, and that's why many people make the mistake of underestimating India. For example, in 2013 when India announced that India will also send its satellite and rover to
Mangalyaan.
Mars, the New York
Mangalyaan.
Times made fun of India like this. But after in just 1 year in 2014, India became the first country in the world to reach Mars in the first attempt.
That was the best response to
And
that
just
joke.
a few years
Yeah.
later,
Yeah.
in 2017, India created an incredible world record by launching 104 satellites from a single rocket. And then India made fun of New York Times like this. This is called spit revenge.
Right back at you.
India is among the world's 4 countries that have successfully reached Mars and Moon both. Other are USA, Russia and China. And among the 5 countries that have their own GPS navigation system, other are USA, Russia, China and Japan. After USA and China, India has third highest number of billionaires in the world. As of 2022, India has total 237 billionaires. The Indian stock market is the fastest growing major stock market in the world. Even 2 out of the world's 10 largest stock exchanges are Indian. And India is said to be world's the largest stock market by 2030 with a total expected market cap of over $11 trillion.
Hey.
The world's fastest growing startup ecosystem. In 2014, India had only 400 startups, and as of 2022, India has over 77,000
What?
startups, which makes India globally the third largest startup ecosystem in the world after USA and China.
How's that possible?
As well as India has third highest number of unicorns in the world.
Unicorns, that's like a
country
company
is home
that
to the
makes $1 billion
108
in the
unicorns with a
first
total
year or
valuation of
something like that.
$341 billion.
Wow.
India is already among the top 5 most industrialized countries with a total output of $900 billion, and it is said to be third most industrialized country by 2030 with an expected industrial output of more than $3 trillion.
Those numbers are so big. It's hard
Currently,
to
India is the
Yeah.
eighth largest
grasp.
exporter in the world. Total export
We live in
of
such a
India
small
was
country here, so,
$675 billion
yeah.
in
The
2021.
contrast is huge.
And the country is on the way to become the third largest exporter in the world by 2030 with an expected export of more than $2 trillion.
$2 trillion, that's 2,000
India is
billion
emerging as
dollars.
factory of the world due to its large skilled workforce. Even in 2021, India overtaken USA and became the second most attractive manufacturing destination globally, second only to China.
Yeah, China, I was about
Production.
to say that must be number
India
one.
is the largest producer of tractor, two-wheeler, spice, dairy products, milk, ginger, turmeric and sugar. Second largest producer of smartphone, steel, cement, vegetable, fruit, rice, wheat and cotton. third largest producer of electricity, renewable energy, gems and jewelry, fourth largest producer of cars and trucks. The Indian textile industry is the second largest textile industry in the world with a total valuation of over $225 billion. The country is well known as hub of
Bengaluru.
information technology. The annual revenue of Indian IT industry is more than $200 billion
Chandanavana.
and it is said to be $350 to $400 billion by 2025 and more than $1 trillion by 2030.
Jesus.
Also known as the pharmacy of the world, the country's massive pharmaceutical industry is the source of more than 50% of global demand for various
50%
vaccines.
of all
India is the
vaccines.
largest
Various
provider of generic
vaccines,
drugs
yeah.
globally.
Okay.
Over 40% generic drugs in the USA and over 25% of all medicine in the UK are supplied by India. It is difficult to imagine how world would be able to combat AIDS without India because globally over 80% of antiretroviral drugs which is using to combat AIDS are supplied by India. Known as the potential superpower, India is the second most populous country in the world and its potential is unlimited. The country has largest young force in the world,
Karate.
more than 50% of its
Karate.
population below the age of
Karate.
25 and more than 65% of its population below the age of 35. And this young power is helping India to become an
Hyderabad.
economic superpower like USA, China and European Union.
I think that's
But
in
still, if you think that
Telangana.
India is a poor country, then let me
Right?
tell you that Indian household own the largest
Oh, it's
amount
in
of
Andhra
gold,
Pradesh.
25,000 tons to 30,000 tons, which is worth over $1.5 trillion to $2 trillion, and it is more than the economy of Australia, South Korea, and Italy.
30,000
Even
tons of
India
gold.
Temple alone have
That's even more
4,000
than
to
you, Camilla.
5,000 tons of
Yeah,
gold,
just a
which is
little.
worth more than $300 billion, and is more than the
Oh, you
economy
girls,
of
I
New
should
Zealand
say.
and Finland. Indians are just love golds and jewelry, and that's why India is the biggest consumer of gold, silver, jewelry and gems. Many people in the world, mostly in the West, use HDI and per capita to criticize India, but they forget that India is the fastest growing major economy in the world. Currently, India's HDI is considered in the medium category, which is expected to move to the high human development category by 2025. Even
Amritsar.
today, 14 Indian states are comes in the high
Kerala.
human development category and 13 Indian states are very close to achieve this. And many
Alright.
Indian states have more GDP per capita than the per capita of many European countries. Well, India is 7 to 10 times cheaper than the Europe and America. India is just like China. As China developed itself in the past, today India is developing in the same way. According to recent UN study, the country has lifted more than 415 million people out of poverty since 2005, and according to World Bank, poverty in India has reduced by 12.3%
impressive.
between 2011 to 2019 from 22.5% in 2011 to only 10% in 2019.
Only 10%.
According to
yeah,
recent
that's still
study of
many.
IMF, India has
150 million
almost
people.
wiped out extreme poverty. The percentage of people living in the extreme poverty in India is only 0.8% now. The country is home to the rich culture and spirituality. No country in the world as diverse as India. There are
United
20
by
states and 8
diversity.
union territories in India, and they all have their own culture, music, languages, races and food. And no country in the world is more colorful than
Madurai.
India. Even India has entire colorful cities like Jaipur, the city of pink, Udaipur, the city
Jaipur.
of white, Jodhpur, the city of blue, Jaisalmer, the city of gold, and Kanyakumari, the city of 7 colors. India is whole world itself. India has snow like Greenland, beauty like Switzerland, desert like Arab, wildlife like Africa, beautiful cities like Europe, forests like Brazil, and mountains like Japan.
Karnataka.
Even
Everything
India
is
has
there.
a white
Yeah.
desert also.
Oh,
100,000
Gujarat.
of beautiful temples, historical monuments, incredible architecture sites, extremely beautiful hill stations like Manali, Nainital,
No.
Simla and Spiti. India is just incredible. India is transforming
I think we
itself
saw a
as
video with
global
Yo-Yo
economic
Honey Singh in
powerhouse.
that white
The country
desert.
is home to the highest number of under
And we thought it was
mega
cold,
projects
but it
in
turned
the
out to be
world.
some kind of
Project
chalk
Sagarmala
or
cost
powder or
$140
something.
billion.
So
Project
maybe.
Sagarmala
Yeah,
cost
maybe.
$130 billion. Project DMIC cost $100 billion. Projects 100 Smart City cost $100 billion.
Smart
These are
cities.
few projects out of them.
It's just
as well
big
as the
projects.
country
Yeah, but
is
just
spending
building
a
100 new
massive
cities.
amount
Yeah.
of $1.5 trillion to modernize and develop its